There's a nasty dating scam going around in Vietnam that unfortunately most guys are unaware of. If you're not careful, you could be short several hundreds to quite possibly thousands of dollars as the scammer runs off with your hard-earned money and laughs all the way to the bank. Here's how the scam works. You decide to try out online dating here in Vietnam using one of the many dating apps available, hoping to meet Mrs. Right, not thinking too much about it. You match with a bunch of attractive girls and then message them, eagerly awaiting a reply back. Then one day, suddenly out of the blue, you receive a reply back from a beautiful Vietnamese girl. You're thrilled! You and her send several messages back and forth, slowly building some rapport, and she appears interested in you. After a while, you finally muster up the courage to pop the question.
Will you marry me?
No, not that question. You ask her out.
Would you like to grab some coffee with me this week? I know a great place in District 1 by the Vincom Mall.
She agrees. You think to yourself, you scored! Yeah, baby! Time to bring out the champagne and celebrate. Not so fast. Now this is where things turn sour. You both agree to meet up at a mutual location or one that she suggests. Either way, soon after meeting up, she will suggest that you guys go check out this bar to grab drinks. Now, you're probably not thinking too much about it, and you think she probably knows better than you since she's a local and knows the best spots to go to. Plus your mind is probably preoccupied with how attractive your date is, so you agree to go along with her suggestion. Now, once inside of the bar of her choice, the fun begins. You'll both order drinks as she continues to flirt with you all night, laughing at your lame corny jokes despite them not being funny at all, or perhaps she may be even a bit touchy-feely with you. You're sitting there thinking to yourself, what a stud you must be. Meanwhile, she continues to order more and more drinks, especially the expensive ones and even bottles, racking up your bill. But of course, you don't notice this because you're too busy having fun with your date. Now, all good things must come to an end, and you'll eventually be in for a rude awakening when you finally receive your bill. What? How? I didn't order all these drinks, you might say. Try as you may to argue with the staff about the bill, but it doesn't work. They all point at all the drinks you guys ordered, and you're left with no choice. And if you refuse, well then, suddenly you'll find yourself surrounded by some scary looking men looking to show you how big their muscles are. Unbeknownst to you, the girl actually works at the bar, or in some cases may even be the owner of the bar or club. A little secret she doesn't let you in on until it's too late. She makes her money through commissions by ordering as many drinks as she thinks she can get away with and earning a certain percentage from it. She has no intentions of actually dating you, but rather using you as a cash cow. With online dating, it makes it very easy for these girls to scout out and lure unsuspecting men into this scam. This scam is essentially an evolved form of the hostess bar scam, whereby female employees come and sit and flirt with customers and then try to run up their tabs by ordering a multitude of drinks even if they don't consume the drinks. And in a lot of cases, they may even tack on extra drink charges despite never having ordered any of the drinks. Now this scam isn't just exclusive to Vietnam though. I've personally seen it being used in other developing countries as well. Here are some of the red flags you should be on the lookout for to protect yourself. Beautiful girls wearing clothes that show a bit of cleavage or provocative clothing in her photos. Sometimes the girl will appear in regular clothing though, but anytime you see a girl wearing any suggestive clothing, it should be a huge red flag. Remember, Vietnam is a conservative country after all. Your date suggests and even pressures you to come to a particular bar. There's usually a reason why she wants to visit a particular place, and if she's adamant about going there despite your protest, it usually isn't a good sign. She's quick to suggest meeting up soon after meeting you, without building any rapport. She orders a ton of drinks, especially the expensive ones on your date, despite not drinking most of the drinks. But usually by this point, it's already too late. She posts photos of her traveling to many exotic places often, and staying at expensive hotels, despite not having a job or working a job earning very little money. You see a lot of foreign men commenting and flirting with her on social media. Also, foreign men who use online dating apps are especially prone to this scam, as these girls love to target these guys as they tend to be more naive and easier to scam. I actually encountered this scam a few years back while using one of the popular dating apps here in Vietnam. I met a girl online who appeared normal at first. However, as time went by, red flags started to pop up. Once we met up, she suggested that we go somewhere else to a particular bar that she knew. However, she was very vague about where, despite meeting at a large shopping mall and being surrounded by a ton of places outside. Luckily for me though, we got into an argument soon after meeting up, after she felt entitled to having me buy her a large birthday cake because her birthday had passed a few days ago. And to add insult to injury, she told me she was going to take the cake home and eat it with her family and friends, not even offering me a slice, despite expecting me to pay for it. It was like a huge slap in the face. I soon got rid of her and sent her packing after telling her no, she wasn't entitled to anything from me, especially having just met me for no more than 5 minutes. Furthermore, there was no way I was going to go with her to some shady bar of her choosing. You're just asking to get scammed if you do. I simply wrote her off, thinking she was just some girl that had been spoiled rotten by all the spineless human doormats that she had met prior to me and went along with my everyday life. However, I was in store for a big surprise months later. One day, out of the blue, Facebook decided to suggest her profile to me. While scrolling through her Facebook, I uncovered dozens and dozens of photos and even videos of her working at a Japanese hostess bar in Japantown in Saigon. Japantown is sort of a red light district in Saigon, catering to Japanese men. In addition, her Facebook wall and photos were littered with cringe-worthy comments left by thirsty dudes. Most of these dudes were old enough to be called her daddy. But maybe she was looking for a daddy. A sugar daddy, that is. I also uncovered hundreds of photos of her having visited exotic travel destinations like Dubai, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and Bali, just to name a few, and staying at expensive 5-star hotels and dining at some of the finest restaurants you could dream of. This girl sure knew how to enjoy life on someone else's dime. Now everything made sense. I didn't realize it at first, but I had somehow ventured down the rabbit hole into the secret underworld of bar hostess scams. And luckily for me, my street smarts saved me from being out hundreds to thousands of dollars. But lots of guys have not been as fortunate as me. Have you been a victim of this dating scam in Vietnam? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, then I think you'll like this other dating scam video here.